Dr. Roman Yampolski is a researcher who claims to have found ways to escape the simulation. There are ways in which people could attempt to escape the false reality they find themselves in and enter the base reality. However, the consequences of such an escape plan are also unknown. Dr. Yampolski is a highly regarded figure in the field of artificial intelligence (AI). He holds a tenured position as a professor of computer science at the University of Louisville, where he is also the founding director of the Cybersecurity Lab, a globally recognized center for research in computer security, biometrics, and forensics. His research focuses primarily on ensuring that the rapid development of AI remains safe and beneficial to humanity. Dr. Yampolski is a prominent advocate for understanding and addressing the potential risks of advanced AI. He's also a prolific author, with numerous journal articles and research papers that have been widely cited in both scientific and media circles. His insights have been featured in magazines such as New Scientist, Science World Magazine, the BBC, and MSNBC, highlighting the wide impact and recognition of his contributions to AI safety and ethics. He also suggests that a superintelligent AI could engineer the simulation, providing us with a way to escape. This idea is based on the idea that a superintelligent AI could identify and exploit flaws in the code of the simulated reality, thus providing us with a means to transcend it. The idea that humans could live in a simulation is actually quite old. The French philosopher René Descartes mentioned it in the 17th century. However, the idea became more popular in the scientific community after Oxford University philosopher Nick Bostrom wrote a detailed article about it in 2003. Bostrom estimated that there was about a 20% chance that we were living in a super-advanced alien computer. Dr. Yampolski believes that if we are living in a simulation, we should be able to find a way out of it. Elon Musk believes that there is a very high chance, more than 99.99%, that we are in a simulation. Yampolski looks at examples from video games and ideas from quantum mechanics to show how we might get out. How could we escape? The easiest way to escape the simulation might involve getting help from someone outside, preferably someone who understands what the simulation looks like. This might involve a type of social engineering attack, which would be difficult to pull off because we know nothing about life outside the simulation and we don't have a way to communicate with others or even the right language. Another possibility is an acausal transaction, in which we could exchange something with the creators of the simulation without direct communication. If our simulation is observed, we could try to show that we know we are simulated and appeal to the creator's empathy in the hope that we will receive help. An escape plan involves convincing the simulators to talk to us, find a way to communicate, and give them a reason to want us to join the real world. Dr. Yampolski explains that we are in the early stages of research into how to escape the simulation, and this paper is the first step. Since we currently don't have the ability to read or modify the source code of the simulation, our best approach is to study the universe at the smallest scale, such as quantum mechanics, to find exploitable effects. He suggests that every new quantum mechanics experiment could be seen as an attempt to hack the simulation. The researcher argues that if the simulation is run on a quantum computer, we may need to use quantum phenomena such as quantum entanglement, superposition, and teleportation, which defy classical physics and could be bugs in the system. While these effects are usually observed at a microscopic level, applying them to the larger world could allow us to exploit them. AI is already being used to design quantum experiments, and this will likely accelerate as AI continues to advance. Yampolski suggests that while we may not be smart enough to hack the simulation now, a superintelligence AI could eventually do it for us. But before we can rely on AI, the researcher suggests that we first need solid evidence to show that we are not already living in the underlying reality. Dr. Yampolski notes that previous attempts to hack the simulation have had no observable effect. These include trying to communicate with the simulators through prayer, magical thinking, or unethical actions such as torture, as well as activities such as Bitcoin mining and scientific experiments. Nothing has worked so far to prove that the simulation is vulnerable or can be controlled. Finally, Dr. Yampolski argues that the reason we have been unable to escape or detect the simulation may be due to the limitations of our understanding. The creators of the simulation, if they exist, may be so different from us that we cannot even begin to understand how it works or perceive reality, and our attempts may be based on incorrect assumptions.